So here we are everyone, we're about to create the percentage of all monthly sales. So I'm on page 65 of the user guide and we're going to create the measures to enable us to do that. So it's in the sales table. I've just cleared up as well and where we should be. So we're going to create a measure. It's going to be in the sales table. And the measure name is monthly sales all. We're using the calculate function and our expression is total sales. Good old total sales comes in really handy. And this is the solution, guys. We're going to use the all function. Now the tooltip there says returns all the rows in a table or all the values in a column, ignoring any filters that might have been applied. It's talking about the filters in the current pivot table, so it's ignoring any filters that might have been applied on the current pivot table. So we'll press tab and we're looking for the month column from the sales table. There it is. Tab, closing parenthesis. Now again guys, you should be getting used to this now. We have one closing parenthesis that pertains to the all function. What about the calculate? So another closing parenthesis, and we've been asked to format as currency with 0 decimal places, and we'll check the formula. It's looking good. And OK. Now just sit back and take a look at that. Is that not just a thing of beauty? Fantastic. So we're getting somewhere. Our next measure is the percentage of all monthly sales. So again, we'll create a new measure in the sales table. Percentage of all monthly sales. And this is just a simple division, chaps. It's going to be total sales. Where would we be without total sales? And we're dividing that by our new measure, which is monthly sales all. There it is there. And we've been asked to format as a percentage with 1 decimal place. Makes a lot of sense. Just a moment of perfection. So we accomplished our goal of creating the static value we needed so badly by using the all function as a filter argument in calculate, and then by dividing total sales and the static monthly sales all, we produced the percentage of all monthly sales. Brilliant. So as far as presentation goes, it would make no sense really to keep monthly sales all on the pivot. So let's just get rid of that. And then if we add a year slicer, increase those columns again. Just bring that down. So we've increased to 4 columns and now that's exactly our objective. We have met our objective, guys, and you should feel very, very pleased about that. Brilliant work. Okay guys, I feel as if we're on a roll, so let's go with ratio of global sales. Let's insert a new pivot into F7. And we're going to drop from the territories table country into the rows drop zone and total sales again into our values. Perfect. So create the following measures in the sales table, and it's the total of all global sales. So let's hit the measures again, new measures, and it's in the sales table. The measure name is total all global sales. So once again it's calculate, and it's total sales, comma, all, and tab, and it's going to be the countries from our territories table. You can see a pattern emerging there. And for this one it's currency and 0 decimal places. So let's see what that gives us. Well, it displays once again the total, the grand total, allowing us to create the ratio. The ratio is just going to be a simple division. Again in the sales table, and it's going to be percentage of all of our global sales. The calculation is total sales divided by our total all global sales, and again it's going to be a percentage to 1 decimal place. Let's check the formula. We really don't need our static value anymore, so we'll just remove that. And let's apply some presentation. Let's tidy up slightly. So again we'll insert the year as a slicer. And the conditional formatting that we shall apply. Again, cast your minds back and we'll just select the first cell, and it's up to you guys, really don't mind which one that you choose here. And then from the formatting options we'll select all cells showing percentage of global sales. We'll sort largest to smallest and ensure that it doesn't auto fit, and then we can slice and dice to our heart's content. Now, just to highlight the versatility of the calculations, the percentage calculations that we have just created, and I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to give you those slicer tips that I promised you earlier on. Now let's just pretend the scenario is that we're just creating a little mini dashboard. Okay, so for quickness and convenience, because you're really good now, you're so hot, so we're going to just copy that and paste it into our cells. And what our boss wants is to see the products. I'll just get rid of those marching ants just by pressing the escape button. Wants to see a breakdown of product sales. So we select our all products hierarchy. The boss is instantly impressed with that. And then you think, oh heavens, that doesn't look right. Where's our hierarchy gone? That doesn't look, it just looks like bikes have come in. That's a little bit odd. And then you start slicing over here and it's affecting your copy and pasted pivot table. And you think, heavens, what's going on? Well, in 2001, by the looks of things, we weren't selling much because we'd only just started up. When we slice on 2002, the same thing. 2003, there's our hierarchy kicking in. So we did start selling accessories and clothing by the looks of things in 2003, and the same in 2004. Now, a couple of things here. Look how brilliant this is. Our percentage of global sales is kicking in, so that's the portability of that measure, that we can just drop it in, and we can't do that with regular pivot tables. That portability of measures, especially with ratios, is outstanding. It's absolute genius. I'm so super impressed. The other thing is that why on earth is this slicer affecting this pivot table, this report? And it's obviously because we've copied it, and the slicer thinks that we want this pivot table affected by the slicing operation. Now, if you select the table, the pivot table here, and we go up to the pivot table tools, go to the Analyze button, this is pivot table number 5, and this is pivot table number 8. You select the slicer and go to options. We've got to report connections, and if we deselect pivot table number 8, which is this one, and click on OK, then it won't be affected. This pivot table won't be affected anymore by this slicing. Okay. So if you find yourself with that sticky wicket, that's exactly what's going on there. There's nothing holding us back from entering our own slicer for this particular pivot, and now they'll be completely independent. Okay, so guys, that's the last of our group work sessions. You've done a fabulous job, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got a lot from this, and that it has given you the bug to go further with Power Pivot and DAX. Next up is the practice exercises, and then I'll see you again in the solutions. So good luck guys, and I'll see you then.